afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. Lovely to have you with us. Joining us in the loft today is Lerato Tshabalala. She's here to talk to us about her new book, The Way I See It. You might remember that it caused a whole lot of fire in the Twitter sphere, and she's in the loft to set the record straight. We also have two ladies who are representatives from the Black Filmmakers Film Festival to tell us all about it. And this week, we're recapping the whole winner home journey, and Rudolph and his mentor, Michelle Snaddon, take us through their journey. In the kitchen is Jeannie Maboneng.
Hi, I'm Jeannie. Welcome to the show. Today we have a lot to celebrate. Considering our delicious Wade van Niekerk took another gold medal yesterday, it means that it's taken South Africa's gold medals in history to 24, which means as a country we have one more gold medal than Michael Phelps. So we're going to be celebrating all of that today, and by doing that we're going to be celebrating all things Rio and Portuguese. Starting off with you, my darling CHIARA, we're going to be making little Portuguese kisses. They're called beijinho.
Yes,
beijinho means little kisses.
Yes,
in Portuguese.
It's so sweet. Making a beijinho coconut cake.
There's very little that I enjoy in the world more than a beijinho. Oh, and cake is quite nice as well. Okay, but now you're making all these little ones into one big cake instead of the little cakes.
Exactly,
hey?
yes.
Okay, that's amazing. Oh, today's been such a crazy day because I've decided that Tuesday is a good day to invite a whole bunch of people to my house for a dinner party. They're arriving at 7. I haven't done any shopping, and I finish the show at 6, which means I'm taking that little beijinho with us. Perfect. Remember, you can cook along with us. All you need to do is visit our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, and your evening can be filled with all of these gorgeous little beijinhos too. Right now, though, let's pop over to the couch with Bonnie.
Author and editor Lerato Tshabalala came under our attention in 2011 with her Urban Miss column in the Sunday Times, and since then she has by turns exasperated, amused and confounded her fans and critics alike. Her first book, The Way I See It, Musings of a Black Woman in the Rainbow Nation, once again does just that and has Twitter ablaze. Welcome to the loft. I'm so glad you took time out to come chat to us.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here, Bonnie. It's
wonderful.
wonderful.
Yeah, you're emerging from this furnace.
Yes.
To come and be here.
Yes.
I can still see the smoke
I'm singed.
coming off your shoulders. Well, congratulations on your book.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, so before we get to the book, you've been an editor, a writer, a columnist, a journalist. You were one of the first alumni for the Mandela Fellowship.
Yeah.
And you've lived in America and studied business.
Yeah.
What has that experience been like for you? Who has it produced?
It feels miraculous. It feels miraculous because everything, if you read where I'm from, where I come from, my family history, somebody like me is not meant to have experienced the things that I've experienced. And so to find myself in a position of being able to change my life, to experience things I didn't even think were in the realm of possibility is a sign of how miraculous and benevolent the universe is.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And America, your American experience?
That was really great. America taught me, if somebody were to ask me what's the one thing I learned from America, is that failure is your friend. We live in a world that suggests that perfection is what you should aim for, but actually perfection is the biggest illusion in the world. That everybody who has been successful has failed in some way or another. Oprah, Michael Jordan, Steve Jobs, they all went through trial and error to get to the highest form of themselves. So I embrace failure. I think it's a wonderful thing. It's a stepping stone to success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the cost of being an overachiever and possibly being one of the most outspoken women in South Africa?
I think the main thing is that you come under scrutiny. People always say they notice the biggest person in the room. So if you're the one with the loudest opinions and you've put yourself out there like I have with this book, the way I see it, you're going to come under attack. And so I need to be very steely in my resolve, because what I am is somebody who stands on the side of truth, and truth is often an incredibly precarious and awkward thing to face, but it's also important.
Yeah, because when you tell your truth, you confront me, and you're indirectly asking me if I've confronted my truth. Right?
Completely, and my hopes are that by asking you that, you then begin to confront your truths and get to a place of of happiness, because actually in the truth is where our pain is, our sorrow is, the things our fear is. And once we face it, there's nothing somebody can do to come at you. I mean, after this book, there's nothing you can say that I haven't said myself about myself.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, people have been misled into believing they know what the book is about.
Yes.
Tell us what the book is about.
So the book is, when I wrote Urban Myths, it was around satire. That's where I come from as a journalist. I believe that you can tackle incredibly difficult subject matters with humor. And the book is humorous for a reason.
Yeah.
I want you to feel relaxed, and then I want to ask you, as you relax, I want to ask you some important questions. So what people don't understand is that they're going to laugh when they read this book. This book is not a political book. I speak about sex, I speak about money, I speak about relationships and friendships between women. So it's a varied book. It's certainly not a political book.
Yeah. Now, I know from writing a memoir that there's still nights where I wake up sometimes and I have a tinge of regret for the amount of exposure that I put out there, the way I exposed myself by telling my story. Do you have moments like that?
I read your book a couple of years ago, and I remember feeling like I was with you in those dark spaces, right? And what I've learned is that actually it's cathartic. It is a therapeutic session. And unfortunately, when you're going through therapy, you can't choose your words carefully.
You can't, right?
You can't be like,
it's going to be a bit
no, I'm
messy
really
as
painful.
well,
you're going
around
to
the edges.
do the ugly cry. It's going to be hectic. But what comes out after that, what comes out after the woman who was in LA, who had a marriage that was tough, is this. Okay, so me who wrote this book a year ago and me now are different people. I don't necessarily have regret, but would I have done certain things better? Would I have written certain sentences better? Could I have expanded on some things? Yes. But at the time, I did what was right at the time, and I can't regret that, because we use the tools that we have at the time, you know.
Now, I've been researching on Twitter, so after the whole drama happened, I missed some of it because I hate following the negativity on Twitter, but for the sake of our conversation, I just took a look at it. And I've seen some really strong public personalities, women, come out and vitriolically point fingers at you. And I've thought, wow, what a position to take. How do you think people are justifying that position?
I think the sad part, Bonnie, is that the people and the women that you're talking about haven't read the book, you see. And I'm very careful about commenting on things that I don't totally have full context on, because an extract is literally like a line of a very long song. So without all the other stuff, you're formulating an opinion based on what 5 other people told you when the 10th person was the person who said the thing about you. I also think that I don't expect women to protect me, but at the same time, I have found great support in other women, in other great women who have said, actually, there's more and more of us who need to tell our stories. There aren't enough Black women, and you know this because you've written a book, who tell our stories in a truthful way. But at the end of the day, you know, everybody has their own opinion, and they're entitled to it.
Let's talk about that match that started the fire, that particular extract. What were you saying in it?
So what was not there was my contribution to the fact that we actually don't support Black service providers. I myself had tried to be cheap. And so if somebody said to me they could fix something for me for $5,000, I was trying to get them down to 2. So obviously, when you get the guy who's going to do it for 1,000 rand, it's not going to be great. It's going to cost you more. And so my thing is, I first want a Black service provider. If I cannot find somebody who's Black, I will then use somebody who's white. But I will not use you just because you're Black, because I think it affirms the negativity around affirmative action and BEE. And actually, there's nothing wrong with those policies. They're there to help and redress the things of the past. So I was trying to say, what are you doing? because this is what I've contributed to this problem. What are you doing? Be excellent. I mean, you hear Black people all the time, Bonnie, saying, we treat each other so badly in the service industry. And yet when I write about it, there's like a, why did you say it? But everybody says it. Everybody says it.
Yeah.
And that's what this book is about. It's about taking those private conversations and putting them out there and saying, let's stop doing this. Let's have an honest conversation.
Yeah. Well, kudos to you for being so courageous, because we are having these conversations at our dinner tables, behind our braais. We are, right?
We are. Truthfully, we are.
Exactly.
And we need to be able to say to ourselves, that is prejudice.
Yeah.
That is actually reinforcing the stereotype.
Sure. But more with you when we come back. Don't go away. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're back on the couch with Lerato Tshabalala. Before we took a break, Lerato and I were chatting about how some of the things she tackles in the book are actually conversations we're having in private.
Right.
And she's being vilified for bringing them out into the open. And you do say on your cover that this is guaranteed to offend, and it's a warning, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what was the conversation with your publisher and your editor? Were there moments where they said, Lerato, this is what's going to happen? Are you ready for this?
So what happened was I was just writing my truth. Remember that, okay?
Yeah.
So I didn't think we needed a warning. So what happened was that they then took the book out to the booksellers. And the booksellers came back and they said, we think it needs a warning. We think people are going to get very touched by what's in there. And I thought, okay, well, I mean, they know better than me. It's my first book, they know. And boy, am I glad they did that, Bonnie, now.
Wow.
Because I didn't realize how offensive the truth would be, because it's your truth, it's my truth. And let me say outwardly that it is not a universal truth. Not everybody's going to read this and agree with me or agree with everything I say. But there is a thread of taking those private conversations and calling people out and saying, but we're already saying this about each other. How can we change this? How can you help me? I don't want to be in a monologue. I want to be in a conversation.
Right.
But I guess to get through the good parts, they say it gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
People had to come for me first. Yeah.
I mean, Black people are very community-driven.
Yeah.
And you have to agree with everybody in order to not be ostracized, right? Yeah, we're saying this.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so what's this need to negate your lived experience? And if you negate your lived experience yourself, then you're still welcome to the pack. And if you don't, then you get ostracized. Has that been your experience?
It has been a little bit, but what I've found is that the more I speak to people, the more people read the book, the more they understand the intention of the book. Before I started writing the book, I privately, for myself, wrote down the intention for the book. What would I like it to do? So before I start, why am I doing it? What's my motivation? And by facing the hard things about myself. You see, I expose a lot of myself. I mean, bless my mother. She's been very encouraging. And I'm not sure if my father was alive, I would have written this book. Because I talk about sex and all kinds of things. But by being honest with myself, by exposing myself, I could then expose us as a country. And now that it's out there, now that I've put it out there, we can only get better.
Yeah, because you have to scrutinize yourself first,
right?
Before you're going to scrutinize any other situation.
Because you contribute. You contribute to the problem. I'm a contributing factor. And this is for anything. It's a relationship, you contribute to its demise. A friendship, in a way, you contribute. Whether it's sort of a... Here's the thing, Bonnie. When you are quiet about something, you are complicit in it.
Yes, you are.
Okay?
You are.
So, for me... silence is tacit compliance. And I don't want to comply to prejudice and not being honest about where we are as a country. People talk about the timing of the book. How could you choose it now?
Why? Well, what's the timing?
Well, things are so hard right now. Why did you do it now? The book was...
Well, they're pretty much hard because we're silent, because we're not talking.
We're not talking about it.
Yeah, it's gotten that hard.
the book was written over a year ago. It was as a part of a schedule. So the fact that universally this alchemy said, I'm going to come in at a time when it is so hard, is to go to show that it's hard right now, and we need to face the truth. Look, we need to face the truth.
Yeah. What other major topics do you cover in the book?
Relationships is a huge part of it. I thought it was really funny that people on Twitter came after me because the first chapter is on social media and how it's given people the power to express themselves, which is a wonderful thing. Because you and I, we can get on television, we can write books, people can hear what we think. But for most people, they don't have that luxury. So it was very nice to start with a chapter and then have that be the thing that blows it up.
It was almost prophetic.
Right? So I talk about relationships between men and women, situationships, which are a new thing these days.
Situationships, I've heard about this.
Yes, which is somewhere between a relationship and you are kicking it.
And no one's going to say anything about it.
Because I want to act like you're my boyfriend, and
you don't.
You don't, exactly. I feel particularly strong about the relationship parts of the book, because if you look at the crime stats, most of the violence happens to women and young children, whether it's sexual violence, any kind of violence. So those things are real to us as women, you know, and young girls. And I wanted to talk about where it comes from, our male figures that we look at, the environment, our friends. You know, they say your vibe attracts your tribe. So the people around us, so we can then start to change the way we are socializing and the way we think. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime, but hopefully in a year's time, somebody else will find their truth and the way they see things, and 5 other black women, black men will write a book of their own.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't ask you this question.
Do
you think if you were a man, the reaction to all the things that you say would have been this vicious?
No. I mean, I would love to say yes. I want to say yes. I want to say I'm seen equally. Equally the same. There's no problem at all. And it's black women in particular at the bottom of the food chain. So your opinion doesn't matter. What makes you think you have an opinion? And you're going to curse
and
too.
who speaks for you? Why are you speaking?
Why
Where's
you
the
just
man
sit
that
there?
Speaks for
exactly. Where is he? And why is he letting you go out like this and be like this? Where's your mother?
We're just wilding out.
And my mother was like, I'm proud of you. You know, my mom was like, I'm proud of you. When my mom was my age, she had 3 kids and she was married. She was a grown woman, you know. And I'm a grown woman. I am entitled to tell my story. I am entitled to tell my story. And so are other people. I hope that I free other people to tell theirs. But this is mine. Is it yours entirely, Bonnie? No.
Right.
But it is my truth.
Wow.
You know.
So where to from here?
I had thought I was going to write a cookbook. Next, I thought, you know, people want to eat healthy, and I'm an Instagrammer, and I thought I'll tell people how to do meals in 30 minutes or less. But I wrote this a year ago, and I'm so different. I mean, you know this from having written a book, that afterwards you're almost... something shifts you.
Changes you completely.
So I hope I still write the cookbook, but I'm not really sure. What I'm hoping for is that somebody also look at this work and goes, hey, let's turn it into something bigger, because there's a lot of dialogue, there's a lot of funny characters in there, and I think something can build from there that could probably be part of a TV screen. Who knows?
Well, thank you so much for coming to share with us today. I think you're absolutely courageous, and you do it all just looking so elegant and gorgeous. I love your aesthetic.
Thank you so much. And once again, I went and got a black woman. So, you know, I'm wearing Ntozinhle right now, and I put my money where my mouth is, and I'm grateful for having you told your truth, because you unlocked it in me to tell mine.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
So if you'd like to win a copy of Lerato's book, which I know you want to, I want to even, the way I see it, SMS books, your name and city to 33778. SMSs are charged at R1.50. T's and C's apply and can be found on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za.
Wow, what an amazing interview, what an amazing woman, and what an amazing book. Be sure to enter so that you win a copy of that book. And she's signing it right now, which means you're actually totally going to win a signed copy of Lerato's book. Now, Tropical Island of Treasure is back, and if you want to get involved, watch this.
Tropical Island of Treasure is back. Are you ready to join South Africa's hottest celebrities in the Seychelles and become a TV star? Host Minnie Dlamini and Games Master Jonathan Boynton-Lee want you to be part of one of 7 smooth teams led by 7 celebrities that will compete on the tropical island of the Seychelles. Each team will strive to outdo the others to stand a chance of winning the R1 million grand prize. Which team will you choose? All you have to do is purchase a Tropica, follow the instructions on pack, visit tropica.co.za for more details.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just joined us, good timing, because this very special lady is going to teach us how to make an amazing cake with beautiful Brazilian balls. Okay, now let's get started with our little beijinhos. We don't start with the beijinhos. They're already
we're going to start with the coconut cake.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start and we're going to use soft butter.
Yes.
And we're just going to cream the butter and the sugar together.
I must be honest, I'm a coconut fan like you cannot believe. Anything with coconut I love.
Okay, well then you're going to die.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
I'm telling you, this is so my vibe. This is my jam, anything coconut.
Okay, so the main thing about the sugar that you use for this cake is it needs to be super fine.
Okay.
So latte caster soy is perfect for this.
Okay, because it is the finest.
So with that.
So first, sugar, butter, together.
Yes.
I've got to remember this because the way my crew have been looking at this cake, I realise that none of my guests are going to get it. It's going to be finished before I leave here this evening.
We'll try and send you home with like a small piece and your guests can share, even though it's quite a small cake.
Yeah.
So we're just going to cream that. I think the important thing is it should go for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Don't be impatient. Let it go, let it set, because you want it to form the base of your cake so it's light and fluffy.
Exactly.
So the longer you do it, the better it is.
And also, with those funny little coconut triangles, it's nice when it's a little bit moist.
Exactly.
Like coconut can be just a little bit chewy.
Oh, I love coconut.
No, it's
I
my
like
best.
anything with coconut, and I'm soft.
Yeah, I'm so excited about this cake. Okay, vanilla essence.
Yes.
You see, I'm learning.
Oh my word, you're
It
amazing.
was a while. It took a while for me to get, in touch with this kitchen.
And now you're
I
sorted.
thought I was a lost cause, but I'm
Never.
okay now.
So we're just mixing that in, just to combine that, and now we're going to start with the eggs. So the eggs...
Do you want some help?
Yes, we're just going to do one at a time. So you can go in with one of those. You can
How do I go one at a time when they're both in a bowl?
So you just hope for the best. So perfect. Look at you. Amazing. Okay, so we just mix that in.
Yeah.
So once that's combined,
Why do we go one at a time?
because we want it to slowly incorporate. If you do both, you're going to overmix the mixture.
Okay.
You can
I have
put
a
in the
tendency
next
to
one.
overdo things, so there you go.
Okay, thank you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it quickly, and this is also important. Always scrape the sides of your bowls.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Because if you don't, you're going to land up with all these clumpy bits of butter at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just inconsistent to do
Yes,
that. Yeah, wait,
exactly.
there's one more.
Get it.
You've got to get
Amazing.
everything. Although I get irritated when people just have like slapdash kind of things. It must all be done properly.
Perfectly, exactly. So we're just going to mix that in now until this is combined. And then we're going to do the coconut milk and the flour mixture. So
Okay.
basically, we're using coconut milk. It gives it a little bit of an extra richness, which I love.
And more coconutty.
Yes, I'm like,
more
well,
coconut.
Better. So we use that, and then in the bowl, what we've done is we've just sifted in here salt, baking powder, and flour.
Sure, but we've got all of the exact measurements on our website as well if you want to bake this delicious cake. AfternoonExpress.co.za. Oh, and really I recommend it. There's just so much goodness here.
So now we're just going to put it a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Obviously, because you don't want the flour
Obviously,
to go.
time is of the essence,
Yeah.
so we can't be as patient as what you have to be at home. You've got to be a lot more patient than what we are. We're rushing this.
So we're just, the rule is you start with flour and you end with flour.
Okay.
So we're just doing it like that, little bits. You're going to put your coconut milk in, like that. So as soon as it combines, you put the next batch in.
See, I'm scared. When I do this at home, I'm going to mess it up.
No,
because
you're not.
I
You have to
don't-
believe in yourself.
I know, but it's this a little bit of flour, then that. It's already giving me anxiety, quite frankly.
No, it's good. I promise you. It's easy. It's going to be just fine.
Okay.
So now we're just going to do the last.
So
bit.
you can't. So the coconut can't be the last bit.
No, it must be the
flour's got to
flour.
be the last.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Then
Go for
coconut,
it.
last
Yes.
bit.
All of it.
Okay.
Enjoy everything. Amazing.
Okay, done.
Okay, so now I'm just going to mix it.
See, I
Almost
should have done that to the
ready.
bowl again.
Like,
I'm
I just
getting
wanna
into
scrape,
this
I
thing.
just want to scrape.
Okay, let's
now-
move along from there.
Yes. We've just put 2 pans. We've just put butter and flour so that they don't stick.
Sure. And then pour in.
Yes. So we just got to get this out.
How long does this go into the oven for?
So it's 25 to 30 minutes. You can just
Sure.
scrape that for me since you like scraping so much.
Yeah.
So you can do half in this one and half in that one.
I'm really an expert of scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to a lot of things. There you go.
Look at you swirl. That's amazing.
No, I watch you. Okay.
Amazing.
So then we do that twice.
Yes.
Do that, okay.
Yes.
And then, thankfully, to the magic of TV, I get to lick that bowl, and we've already made these cakes. But let me just scrape that out for you as well. Okay, there you go. Okay, what's the process after this? So this goes into the oven, 25
Yes.
minutes, then we have a cook.
Yes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the filling and the top of the beijinhos.
Okay, so here, this is what comes out of the oven.
Yes.
Okay, so then what's the next step?
Okay, so the next step is we're going to make our beijinho. You can bring the condensed milk
What's it
for
called? A
us.
bijou?
Beijinho.
Oh, beijinho.
Yes, our little
Of course I knew that, the
kisses.
little kisses.
Yes. So we're going to put our butter, our coconut, and you
Yeah.
can put the condensed milk in there.
Beijing, the whole thing.
Yes, all of it.
Obviously, it's called a kiss. There's obviously going to be a lot of sweetness in
Lot
that.
of sweetness.
There you go.
Amazing.
I love the little Beijing.
I always say that the name is so perfect for it because once you have one, you just want a million more.
Just like that.
So all we do now, for the beijinho, you cannot stop stirring. Okay, if you stop, it will catch on the bottom.
Okay, do you want me to do that for you?
Yes, please.
And then you can talk us through the rest.
Yes. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take, these are cakes that have come out the oven, which
Yeah.
are so beautiful and perfect. You're just gonna, what we're gonna do is just make sure that the butter's melted, which will be in like a few seconds.
Yep, I'm there. Totally on this. Okay,
Amazing.
then what?
So once the butter's melted, you're gonna put half in the dish and you're gonna leave half in the pot for me.
Okay, done. Then?
Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spread the beijinho mixture in the middle and on top, and
Yeah.
then we put
We're
the final
ready.
beijinho balls on top. It's amazing.
Okay, so that's it. So you're going to make half those balls with half of that.
Yes, and the
And the
other
other
with
half
this.
in the middle.
Exactly.
Oh, that hot coconut kissiness. This is really, really amazing. I'm licking this bowl as well.
No, it's all yours.
All right, remember all the details, afternoonexpress.co.za. This girl deserves one hell of a beijinho for this amazing cake. Afternoonexpress.co.za. Trust me, you are going to want to get your teeth into this. Right now, though, Bonnie's back on our couch.
Now, while I thought that little kisses would be enough to know, today we're back with more love tips from the Revlon Love Squad as beauty blogger Cynthia Gwebu reveals how can you tell if he loves you?
I choose love by firstly loving myself, because that's very important, because without me loving myself, there's no way I can choose to love anything or love anyone else. So it starts firstly with me. I choose to love myself. I choose to love all my imperfections, but at the same time, I've learned how to enhance those imperfections, whether it's through makeup, through going to the gym, but it's all part and parcel of me choosing to love myself, making it easier for me to go out and choose love in other people as well. And it's how they treat me as well. That's how I choose love within them, and even choosing love within situations. I choose to go to specific places because they make me more happier. You won't find me probably maybe at a nightclub because that doesn't make me happy, but you'll probably find me out having lunch with my friends, because that for me is choosing to love myself and loving my friends through things that we do together. I choose love in how I interact with my family, what I do for my mother, what I do for my little sister. But again, it all stems from choosing love for yourself and loving you
Balisa is definitely one of our favorite bloggers. And Balisa and the rest of our Revlon Love Squad are sharing their love tips and makeup tricks right here on Afternoon Express every Tuesday and Thursday. You can also follow their campaign online, #LoveSquadSA. Love is on. After the break, it's time for Winner Home on Afternoon Express. Don't go away.
Winner Home on Afternoon Express, where 3 design contestants are turning 3 empty properties at Valdivia Estate in the Cape Winelands into dream homes using finishes provided by Caesarstone and Plascon. Vote for your favorite and you could win.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, with less than 2 weeks left until we announce the winner of Winner Home live on the 26th of August, the excitement is really building up. Who will be the judges' favourite and who will win your vote at home? This week, we're looking back on each of our design contestants' journeys, and today we feature Rudolph and his mentor, Michelle Snaddon.
Emergent interior designer and lecturer Rudolph JORDAAN was chosen by his mentor, Michelle Snaddon, from Real Estate magazine. Their guest bedroom got off to an uneasy start.
Because I had my headboard made myself, something went wrong. I gave them the dimensions of the overall size, and then they added the foam to that size. So they made the frame the size I gave them. So we just need to remove 1 layer of foam. So just doing a bit of reupholstery.
Rudolph's masculine design won the judges over, and he aimed to make it 2 for 2 with the bathroom.
Like that. I really like that. This is great.
Yeah, especially for us bathroom.
The bathroom's understated elegance and cozy color palette again won the judges over, and Rudolph prepared for his hat trick.
And how's the dressing room doing?
Basically, this whole built-in cupboard is floating in the air. I think it just adds to the beautiful airiness to the space.
You've designed it beautifully, so go for it.
Yeah.
All we have to do now is meet that deadline.
All my furniture's outside. I'm ready to move in, but look at this place, it's a mess. So let's see how I can get this cleaned up in 30 minutes.
Rudolph cleaned up nicely, and his Ralph Lauren-inspired master bedroom was a viewer favorite. The kitchen was next, and with his mentor Michelle overseas, this was going to be his biggest challenge yet.
Okay, Danilo, I know there's not much happening here, but don't stress. We had to make some changes on the design, and then obviously I need to make changes for the appliances that we're going to put in. So everything just had to move a bit. Previous comments from the judges were that I'm a bit too masculine. This design will try and balance it out with all the styling that I'm going to include.
Rudolph took a few risks with some bold design choices in a room that would have to complement his lounge.
I need your honest opinion on my TV unit that I've designed. What do you think?
Well, it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be in the room space. But it was a design that I know you wanted right from word goes. I love the fact that all the wires are disguised, everything is concealed. It does feel, I must say, it does feel light.
Yeah.
What's going to be the wow factor in this space?
Most definitely the sliding screen on the TV unit. It was inspired by the Cape Fynbos, and it's something really interesting, and that's also repeated in the artwork above here. And that was CNC'd on leather, and that was stretched over the frame that's going to be the screen for the TV unit.
So you have only literally got a couple of hours left until you have to be done at the end of today.
That is
and you're
correct.
painting outside.
Everything's sort of on track. I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. There was one little mishap and I had to jump in and fix it, but I'm sure you will notice that.
What was it? Tell me more.
After Michelle's visit yesterday, we both decided that the mural must go.
The one on the roof?
Yes.
Wow.
Team Real Estate's comfortable and contemporary lounge brought the whole home together with cool colors, unique textures, and impressive architectural pieces. Having won 2 rooms, Rudolph is determined to take the overall prize, as well as that coveted ARC internship.
Wow, that's some pretty impressive work. Joining us now is Rudolph and his mentor, Michelle Snaddon, in the loft to chat to us about their journey. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Now, Rudolph, you started this competition with the most interior design experience. How do you think that helped you along the way?
Well, even though I have more experience, it's still, you can never prepare yourself for what's going to happen next, you know.
Yeah.
So we were busy with this project, and I just had to jump in. Of course, I had to take a leap of faith with everyone that I had to work with. And it was amazing to see the results. You just have to trust people in a project like this. That's the biggest accelerator.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at this journey, you realize that it's not just design talent that's needed. I mean, there's so many other qualities that come into this that are tested. Which of the qualities in you were tested?
Well, patience, firstly, and then also you had to see what people can bring to the table. Trust them and see what they can do.
It's such a difficult thing for me because I don't know when you interior design shopping or if you wanting to fix things in your
As I always do.
I'm happy to. I can see the individual pieces that I like, but bringing it all together, like I've got no concept on how to do it. I mean, you've obviously got an eye for something like that. Why did you decide to work with Rudolph as his mentor?
It's interesting, I was talking about it earlier today. He was the only one I looked at who had a video in his portfolio, and that really helped.
Oh, wow.
I could see exactly what he'd done, and I knew then that I could add to his experience with certain things.
Amazing.
So the young design collaboration was really important to me. You know, working with handcrafted, unique pieces of unique ceramics, unique flooring, was something that I thought I could add to it. So that really helped. And Rudolph seemed highly organised.
Yeah, and it came at such a good time because me, as a mentee, also wanted that in this relationship, and that was great to see.
I was about to touch on that. You invited some of your students to help you. Did that give you a competitive edge? But then again, then you became a mentor, a mentee being mentored at the same time.
You know, this project is exactly like it would be in university. You know, I have a class of 30 students, one brief, and you get 30 different designs in the end. And that was really exciting for me to actually show them how things work in real life. Because it's completely different to what you teach in class. You know, you need to have project management skills, you need to have patience, you need to fix things when they don't work. And
you're human, that's the biggest thing.
And you have to be so organised. I mean, how much planning goes into that? You walk into a house with just concrete.
Yeah, it's really... also, doing it room by room is really difficult, you know, but you still had to have a bigger vision. And as you will see now in the end, all the rooms actually tie in together.
Why did you go room by room? I mean, surely, like normally would you have planned the whole place so that everything links to Look, I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, in interior design, you really would like to look at...
This is high grade for me.
As interior designers, we really look at how spaces flow into one another.
Yeah.
And having adjacent spaces, they need to work together.
Yeah.
So the flow was really important, the light was really important, controlling the light was really important.
I'm obsessed with your main bedroom and the kitchen. I was thinking, oh, I want to go and hang out there.
Michelle, were there certain any choices that Rudolph was making in the process that you felt, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if that's going to work out, and then in the end it actually all pulled together?
It did. I mean, look, I was travelling while we were working on this, so that was quite difficult for him. And so we worked on WhatsApp a lot, and we, you know, often I was about to go, well, how about, and suggest something different, and he'd gone ahead and ordered it, because we'd looked at things together, but he had to do that. To meet those deadlines, he absolutely had to move forward. So some of them were timing situations. Yeah, and I think, you know, every room presented its own challenge, and we each have our own ideas, but I also wanted Rudolph to shine through in this project, so that if a client takes him on for future work, that, you know, they really do have a sense of what he's capable of on his own.
Yeah. When somebody lives in that apartment, what do you want them to experience, Rudolph?
Oh, I just want them to feel comfortable and kick off their shoes and enjoy the space. Apartment or a place where you stay needs to be a sanctuary, so you need to be able to relax there and enjoy yourself and entertain. I think that's really what the space also offers. That flexibility.
Are you going to miss it? Do you ever get like sentimentally attached to any of your work?
Yes, they are my children. All my interiors are my children.
You said the other day, I haven't been back for a few days. I'm missing it.
Yeah, I really did miss it. I was there again today, and it's just a wonderful space to walk into, and I can see myself living there. I can see the whole of South Africa living there.
I can see myself there. But you know, it's actually funny. You guys are such interior designers that I can see the whole house, the palette of the apartment. You're actually wearing it, both of you.
You have to market the project.
No, the brand.
You have to market the project. But all the best going forward.
Thank you.
I'm so excited for you. Best wishes for the 26th. I'm very, very excited. Now, if you're inspired by Rudolph's fashionable design, then don't forget to vote for him on privateproperty.co.za. You only have until this Friday, the 19th of August, to cast your vote. So remember that the design contestant with the most viewer votes will win a cash prize of 50,000 Rand, and you stand in line to win one of the biggest prizes on South African TV.
Vote now and you could win a home. One lucky viewer can win one of 3 completed apartments at the Valdevi Estate, valued at over 3 million Rand, by voting for your favorite design contestant's apartment on privateproperty.co.za. Win a Home is proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank.
Lovely to have you back with us on Afternoon Express. Now, the Black Filmmakers Film Festival is a monthly event that takes place in and around Cape Town and seeks to connect and showcase artists of colour across the city, country and continent through a series of events and workshops in these areas. It's put together by a team consisting of Black filmmakers who have worked in numerous productions within film and media, both locally and internationally. We're joined now by Tania Pehl and Sarah Summers. Welcome to the Loft, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Right, so my first question is basically, I love your hair, okay? I love your hair, but is this a prerequisite to joining your company, that you have to have good hair?
Yeah, we gotta
So you've got bad hair, you can't sit with us.
Yes.
We do people's hair for them. Once they enter the group, we do their hair.
So what triggered this idea?
The idea stemmed from the fact that there was a lack of exposure of people of colour within the film industry. So whether you're a director, producer, whether you're the main lead actor, actress in a film, and just the fact that, we're not exposed to these films, and we pretty much are trying to create a space where people can come together, celebrate film and also just network with one another with the possibility of creating something themselves.
Yeah.
I think as a filmmaker, you want your films to engage with audiences, and there aren't a lot of spaces where that is available to you. So the Black Filmmakers Festival is really great because most films kind of cater to markets that don't actually include the people the films are about. Quite bluntly, Black people. So if I make a film, it sits in various festivals that aren't necessarily the market that I've actually made the film for, because it's hard to actually have spaces where my films can engage.
Yeah.
So what's great about the Black Filmmakers Festival is that it's a monthly screening that people become aware of, that people know is going to be there religiously, and that they're going to have a really good time at. Yeah. We're going to be able to watch South African films.
Yeah.
Young South African films, cool South African films, or African films, It's fun.
Yeah. What has been the reaction by Black filmmakers as a whole to your project?
It's been really positive. From when we started, it was relatively quite small. So we've been running for just over a year now, and it's quite amazing because we've been collaborating with quite a few projects within the city. And it's just nice because, as people get to know us a lot more, they're becoming more engaging. And a lot of the time, we actually have industry professionals who want to help us without pro bono. So that's another great thing that we're able to share with people.
What have been some of the challenges of starting a business like this?
Consistency, I feel, definitely. And again, budget. Budget's always an issue. So, you do rely on the kindness of others.
And how do you raise funds?
Mainly through our actual screenings. We've been, the screenings help us quite a bit. We do have a couple of sponsors for different events that we do run. And so, again, it's also just the skills. People donate their skills and stuff as well. Yeah. So that's the biggest cost majority of the time.
Sarah, you've just made a film called Khatful.
Yes,
Tell us about it.
Khatful is a mockumentary. It is a political satire. It assumes that there's been a socialist revolution, and we see what South Africa could look like in about a few years' time, when people have to actually engage with their ideals on a very practical level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's... How has your film festival brought together people from all over Africa, from all over the diaspora? Because I find that there's not enough platforms also where people all over the continent are communicating and gathering around ideas.
Do you want to answer?
Cool. So we have this really cool event coming up called in Dim Dim Cinema, where we go into Googs and we screen a collection of films by a Kenyan director, Jim Choo Choo. Jim Choo Choo. Yeah. In the homes, which is a really great...
In the homes?
In the homes, yeah. So, like, you'll come to the event, we'll sit up in the lounge, you'll watch the film, and then we'll have a juicy nyamabra afterwards. And we take people
really
from
amazing.
town there and back.
Yeah.
So it's a super cool event, you know.
Yeah.
It's also LGBTI content. So it was banned previously in Kenya. So that type of, just having that film integrates what's happening in the rest of Africa into spaces in South Africa, so there's a communication. But also you can see the high level of quality of films that are coming out from Kenya, because the film is excellently produced and made. Like, I watch and I'm like, yo.
But also what's quite amazing is that specifically with this story of our lives, it's an array of creatives. So it's directors, journalists, photographers, fashion designers. So a lot of the things that you find is in clothes, for example, are made by people within the collective. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Also, our founder is pretty connected as well. So he's our diaspora hookup. Let's say that.
That's absolutely amazing. And what are your plans for the future?
National.
Yeah.
So there's currently a Black Filmmakers Festival in PA as well, but we like to get it everywhere.
Awesome.
And we're going to be screening in Copenhagen. We're still organising the formalities around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're also just relatively new, and we just our team just grew bigger. So we're just really trying to, create a solid foundation before we go out and actually start bringing the message out.
But also we help filmmakers make films. So we have the City of Colour project.
Yes.
And at the City of Colour projects, we take on scripts and we help them actually get funding or make the film.
Yeah, yeah.
So just in that, to create a network within the industry among Black people so that they can support each other.
Well, keep up the amazing job. I want to definitely come to your next screening and I'll get the information from you. But Jeannie's got a beautiful cake prepared for us.
I also want to
Wow.
next screening. I'm quite attached to this thing though because my arms are going to be ripped. Okay,
This looks so sweet.
No, you've got no idea how good the cake is. It's so sweet. But it's
amazing. It's super duper sweet.
Yeah, we're worried about
It just
our
looks like
posture.
coconut.
I seriously had my way with the bowl in there, and it's amazing.
Tomorrow on the show, we're chatting to Andreas Mpunga. He's a psychologist who started a very unique psychology practice from the back of his kumbi. That's right, he drives around the community providing therapy. How amazing. So don't miss out on that exciting chat tomorrow.
I'm going to need him.
Yeah. In the backseat of his kumbi. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Happy eating.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we chat to a psychologist who has started a mobile clinic in a township to help raise mental health awareness. And for Winner Home on Afternoon Express, we take a look back on Joanne's journey on the show along with her mentor, Sumeen Brink.
The hottest address on TV is Winner Home on Afternoon Express. Proudly brought to you by Private Property in association with Nedbank.
Another feel-good production.